You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 24th of October. India says won't rush into trade deals, rejects restrictive conditions. Pakistan bans Islamist party week after violent clashes killed 5. And Bangladesh court set to deliver verdict on Sheikh Hasina's alleged crimes. And now for all the details. India will not rush into signing any trade agreements and will reject conditions from partner countries that restrict its trading choices, Trade Minister Piyush Goyal said on Friday. Speaking at the Berlin Global Dialogue, Goyal noted that New Delhi is taking a measured approach and will not sign any trade deal in a hurry amid ongoing talks with the European Union, the US and other partners. India's long-pending free trade agreement with the EU remains stalled over market access, environmental norms and rules of origin. The US has also imposed 50% tariff on Indian exports, complicating negotiations. Western nations, including the EU, UK and US, continue to pressure India to reduce imports of discounted Russian crude, arguing it funds Moscow's war in Ukraine. India has defended its energy purchases as vital for affordable supplies and energy security, but is now expected to significantly cut Russian oil imports to comply with new US sanctions targeting major Russian producers. India's permanent representative to the UN, Parvathaneni Harish, while addressing the UNSC open debate on the situation in the Middle East, welcomed the Gaza Peace Agreement and appreciated the role of the US, Egypt and Qatar in forging the deal. Harish also said India remains firm in its view that dialogue and diplomacy and the two-state solution are the means to achieve peace. He also said that India is committed to contributing to regional peace and stability. Peace and calm on the Palestinian front have implications for the wider region, he added. Emphasizing on the importance of the agreement and the ceasefire to sustain, he said that parties should honor their respective commitments. The 2025 Gaza Peace Summit or Sharm el-Sheikh Summit was held on October 13, 2025 in Egypt to implement the first phase of the Gaza Peace Plan. Co-chaired by US President Donald Trump and Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, it was attended by representatives from around 30 countries.
We welcome the signing of the landmark peace agreement. It is India's hope that the positive diplomatic momentum that has been generated would lead to lasting peace in the region. At this juncture, India would also like to place on record its appreciation for the United States and especially President Donald Trump for playing an instrumental role in forging the agreement. Further, India also commends the role of Egypt and Qatar towards achieving this end.
Meanwhile, Pakistan's cabinet unanimously approved a ban on Islamist party Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan for the second time in 4 years on Thursday under the country's Anti-Terrorism Act. This ban comes a week after 5 people died in clashes between its members and the police. In a statement rejecting the ban, the group called it unconstitutional, vindictive, illegal and dictatorial. Ahead of US President Donald Trump's announcement of a ceasefire deal to end the Gaza war, the followers of the party took to the streets for an anti-Israel protest march that led to the violent clash. Pakistan government in a statement said that the TLP is involved in terrorist and violent activities. Since its formation, the party has built a reputation for using street power and violence to push its extremist agenda. Local media reported while the federal cabinet can impose a temporary ban, the apex court's decision on such matters is final. Moving on. People in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir are suffering from Islamabad's decades of conflicts with its neighbours. Inflation has soared, essentials are unaffordable, and survival has become a daily battle. We have a report.
Pakistan's recent border conflict with Afghanistan has halted cross-border trade, crippling the supply of essential commodities. Locals and traders in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan are worried as prices of food items have risen in the region and they face heavy losses. In PJK's Muzaffarabad and Mirpur, tomatoes are now a luxury, and onions have nearly doubled, leaving vendors and families struggling to cope.
ये टमाटर और प्याज जो और अंगूर सेब जो आ रहा है ये काबुल से आ रहा था, तो ये जंग शुरू होने की वजह से शार्ट हो गया, तो जिसकी वजह से टमाटर 6,500 रुपए का मंसूरे से आया अभी, तो वजन 12-13 किलो उसमें कच्चे भी निकलते हैं और खराब भी निकलते हैं, वो निकाल के तो वो 700-650 रुपए किलो पड़ता है। इधर इंतजामिया जो है वो 390 रुपए रेट दे रहा है, ये कैसे फरोख्त करें और कहाँ से लाएं? तो इसलिए मेहरबानी करके इंतजामिया को भी चाहिए कि वो हमारे साथ तावन करे और टमाटर हमें मंगवा के दे जो हम सेल करें। बाकी फ्रूट और अंगूर है जो वो भी काबुल से आ रहा है, अनार काबुल से आ रहा है, ये इसके बाद वो प्याज खीरा काबुल से आ रहा है, वो भी अभी शार्ट होने की वजह से महंगा हो गया है। तो इंतजामिया भी रेट अपनी मर्जी से देती है, तो हम पैसे जो ये इधर शार्ट होते हैं तो वो किससे पूरे करें?
बंद होने की वजह से टमाटर जो 80 रुपए 100 रुपए किलो था वो अब 450-500 रुपए किलो तक पहुंच गया। इसी तरह प्याज जो 60-70 रुपए किलो होता था अब 120-130 रुपए बिक रहा है। इसके बड़े असर हम सब्जी वालों से है। फिर उसके अलावा ये जो काम में भी इसी तरह फर्क है। अब लोग आते हैं तो टमाटर लेता ही कोई नहीं है, कह रहे हैं यार इतना अगर पूरा दिन लगा के 1 किलो टमाटर ले तो उसके क्या फायदे हैं, ज्यादा टमाटर हम लोग खाने ही छोड़ देंगे।
The crisis shows how Pakistan's decades of nurturing extremism and hostility have backfired, pushing its occupied regions into deeper economic despair.
And an earthquake of magnitude 3.7 struck Afghanistan in the early hours of Friday, the National Center for Seismology has confirmed. The earthquake occurred at around 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time at the depth of 80 kilometers. Previously, an earthquake of magnitude 4.3 struck Afghanistan in the early hours of Tuesday. Shallow earthquakes are considered more dangerous than deep earthquakes as they have a shorter distance to travel to the surface, resulting in stronger ground shaking and greater casualties. A World Bank Group report released on Friday has revealed that an estimated $183 million in direct physical damages occurred to buildings and infrastructure in Afghanistan due to the 6.0 magnitude earthquake that struck the country in late August. The deadliest earthquake in Afghanistan since 1998 claimed 2,000 lives and severely affected an estimated 500,000 to 1.3 million people. Afghanistan, Pakistan and northern India lie in one of the most seismically active zones in the world, where the Indian and the Eurasian tectonic plates meet. The region frequently experiences moderate to strong earthquakes, often felt across borders due to the proximity of fault lines. Such disasters hurt the poor and vulnerable the most. And amid human rights debates, the trial of Bangladesh's former Prime Minister accused of crimes against humanity has concluded. The International Crimes Tribunal of Bangladesh will announce the highly anticipated verdict on November 13th. Hasina faces multiple allegations of torturing individuals, suppressing dissent, and orchestrating disappearances during her tenure under the Awami League government. Hasina's state-appointed lawyer, Muhammad Amir Hussain, challenged the allegations and said for an act to be considered a crime against humanity, there must be an intent or effort to annihilate a community, nation or group. But here, that does not apply. The tribunal has the responsibility to ensure justice. He was quoted as saying by local media. Earlier this month, the ICT issued arrest warrants for 30 individuals, including Hasina. The three-member tribunal bench ordered the accused to be produced in court by 22nd of October. Hasina has fled the country following a student-led uprising in August 2024, which ended her administration and brought Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus to lead an interim government in Bangladesh. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.